Welcome back to the Colander Medical Radio Show. I'm your host, Anne-Marie Cronin, here talking with Dr. Brian Colander, board certified in internal medicine and specialist in artery disease with offices in Bingham Farms and downtown Detroit. Dr. Colander is here with us discussing his concierge practice and how to avoid heart attack and stroke and how to begin the reversal of artery disease. Well, Dr. Colander, special guest Doug Reynolds, founder of Bystander Response, is here. We're talking about how to react in a traumatic situation, how to stop the bleed. And Doug, you've given us some wonderful information tonight, but I have a question for you. Do you have people that are maybe afraid to jump in because they're afraid of, handling blood contamination, or even getting in trouble by butting into a situation? Does that come up? Is that a question that you get asked?
It does come up, yes. And there are strengthening bystander Good Samaritan laws that are, hopefully they're strengthening them. They should be. They also, as far as bloodborne contaminants, that's a possibility. It's not likely. Nonetheless, you have to do what you have to do. As far as getting sued, anybody can sue anybody for anything, but it's very unlikely.
Well, I want to just reassure the listenership
let's
out
hear from
there
the doctor here.
that you should not have any worry about trying to help somebody. If you are willing to step in and do it, that should not be a thought in your head about, am I going to get sued for inflicting trauma on this person?
Well, they don't need gloves,
not.
right?
And also, the other concern about getting anything, you don't need gloves to enact. You're only going to get a communicable disease if you have a wide open cut on your hand,
right,
or you take that person's blood and get in your eye or put it in your mouth. When you're applying a tourniquet, you're going to be applying it closer to the body than the wound is, which is upstream basically where there isn't blood. So you're applying it on their clothes or over their arm or leg where the blood isn't. The blood's going with gravity and you're above that. So you're not going to have that much contact with blood. And if you're a layperson, I can understand you're nervous about that, but you shouldn't be. Go apply the tourniquet. But again, Doug's got his process that he's given us. Stay safe and apply, and then get to action.
Right.
Anything else people need to do at that time?
Basically, this is the process. Call 911, stay safe, ensure your safety, call 911. Find out where the blood loss is, and then you can determine what response is. You can direct pressure, which is the most effective way, unless there's arterial bleeding that's pumping out of the person. Then you can use wound packing, which is basically you take a cloth and you pack it directly into the wound, and then use of a tourniquet. Now, different parts in the body.
If I may jump in on wound packing. So when Doug's talking about packing a wound, you've got to pack the wound and apply pressure. It's not enough just to pack the wound and then walk away.
Yeah.
You've got to pack the wound and lean on it. And if we're going to put a tourniquet in another area, you put the tourniquet on the other area and then get back on that wound that you packed, and you've got to put a lot of pressure on that. And again, your victim is going to be complaining and you're not listening. You're going to just keep putting pressure on that. Sorry.
What are you packing the wound with?
The other shirt that you're not using for the tourniquet.
I see.
Whatever.
So anything that you
anything
have
you can
cloth?
put in there. Right.
Anything, yeah.
And it takes a lot. You put it in a start position. And this stuff is, you're not going to learn Stop the Bleed today listening to this radio show. What I really would like is people to say, okay, this is worthwhile. Maybe I should look into this. I would also like the Michigan legislature to say, okay, this should be legislated to be taught in schools. And, make it a part of the health curriculum. Some schools, some teachers I know do it. Just, it should be done. It's really a matter of, and I'm not going to say lack of integrity, but it should be done. There's no reason why it shouldn't. Stop the bleed is important. It's vitally important. People die. A lot of people die from life-threatening hemorrhaging. And so, in the end of the day, would you want somebody maybe to know something about Stop the Bleed if your loved one is in this situation? Why? Why would you learn?
Well, let me also state we're not just talking about, an accident. if you are a gun enthusiast and you're going hunting in the fall.
Right.
Right.
The team, everyone really should be carrying a tourniquet kit because accidents happen. If you're a woodworker and you've got a table saw, you need to have a tourniquet around. You may have to
Right.
apply your own tourniquet. Anywhere where there's any kind of sharp, anything where something can happen, there
Right.
needs to be a tourniquet. So you don't need to be a school teacher or law enforcement or fireman. All these environments need a tourniquet kit. So
Right.
especially, there's a lot of hunters out there. You need to be armed with a tourniquet kit as well.
Right.
Now, Dr. Collender, one quick question here. Is that the tourniquet, is that the same tourniquet that they use when you go for your physical and they tie up your upper arm?
No. That's just a
Okay.
little rubber band
Right.
that we put around. The tourniquet kit is, like Doug said, it's a pretty sturdy piece of equipment. But I also want to take the moment to make sure that all the listeners take responsibility for themselves and the people around them right now and go to bystanderresponse.com. That's bystanderresponse.com with 30, 40 minutes of watching the videos that Doug's put together on this website. You will be an expert in taking care of somebody in a traumatic situation. Yes, Doug teaches classes and you watch the videos and you're good to go. They can always learn more, but before you go out, re-educate yourself. People need to go and get informed properly, and I recommend strongly go to the website. It's easy to watch, it's easy to learn, and you're going to be fully aware of what's going on and what
Right.
to do.
And it's also really important in rural areas to have these things available, because the response time for emergency responders is much longer than in an urban area. So if you're up north and you're going to go up and you're going,
Well, that's a good point.
I'm going to fell a tree today,
Right.
and something happens with a chainsaw or whatever, and you're faced with life-threatening blood loss. It could be a half an hour till somebody comes and gets you to help you. You need to know how to look after yourself and how to apply a tourniquet.
I'm having a memory when I was a camper and I was a counselor taking a group out, and a kid cut his hand. And
Right.
here I am, 12 years old, applying a tourniquet
Right.
to this kid's hand, packing it and pressure, and I escorted him to the hospital from the middle of the woods.
Where'd you learn how to do that before you were a doctor?
It just seemed like a common sense thing to
I
do.
think our generation knew that when we were younger.
Yeah.
Just people I talk to know what tourniquets are that are my age. Younger people maybe not so much, but yeah, I don't know why that is.
Well, that's one of the reasons why they should be teaching it in every classroom in school.
Well, also, Doug's put the program together. It's online and easy to follow. Yes, we need to teach it. Yes, it needs to be legislated, mostly so that these kits get put everywhere next to the AED devices. But for our individual people out there, don't wait for someone else to be the one to step in. You
Right.
go ahead and do it. I happened to witness a car accident, a motorcycle accident a year ago on the road. I pull over, and yes, I'm doing my civic duty as a doctor, but other people pulled over. You be the one, you take responsibility to learn what to do, and go to bystanderresponse.com.
Right. Learn, stop the bleed. It's important, and for now, people should just go do it. It should be legislated, and it really should be made much more awareness about exactly how it goes.
So the thing is, we all need to get involved. We all need to take the responsibility. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time, and that wraps it up for the Collender Medical Radio Show on News Talk 760 WJR, sponsored by Collender Medical and Bystander Response. I'm your host, Anne-Marie Cronin, and again, I want to thank Mr. Doug Reynolds of Bystander Response for speaking to us today about this important intervention. And thanks to Dr. Collender for talking to us about taking charge of our health, being proactive, and avoiding both heart attack and stroke. For more information on today's show, or to learn more about Dr. Collender's practice, you can call him directly at 248-737-0091. Again, that's 248-737-0091. We hope you enjoyed this show and that you become more informed about avoiding heart attack, stroke, and the devastating results of artery disease, and also how to be a proactive bystander. And more importantly, what can we do to halt or reverse the process of disease? Once again, reach out to Dr. Collender at 248-737-0091. Thank you for listening.